Well, hello everyone. My name is Veronica Pimienta Rosales, and I'm a faculty professor from the University of Guadalajara in the language department. And I'm very happy to have this opportunity to share with you my study on corrective feedback strategies identified in different classroom interaction contexts to enhance the development of speaking skills. As we already know, in the field of teaching English as a foreign language, using corrective feedback strategies in the classroom plays a key role in developing speaking skills by allowing students to build language accuracy, fluency, and appropriateness. Well, corrective feedback uh, theory, as proposed by Ellis, it is considered a very controversial issue since there are some ideas in favor and some against. Those ideas in favor state that feedback contributes to language development since it allows learners to notice if their interlanguage forms deviate from the desired target language forms. These gaps motivate learners to seek for correct utterances by reformulating and restructuring their oral production. However, views against claim that feedback inhibits language learning and discourages learners from using language. This antagonistic perspective has motivated numerous researchers to study CF strategies based on who should provide the feedback, the frequency, the kind, and the timing. However, there's increased evidence within interactionist views of language that CF can facilitate language development in the form of negotiation of meaning. In these rounds, a descriptive study with a mixed method focus was conducted to explore and examine the CF strategies used in two English language groups from a language program offered as an extracurricular activity in the campus for health sciences at the University of Guadalajara in Mexico. Data collection analysis was done in the following way. 6 class video recordings that were collected, transcribed, and analyzed to identify the CF strategies were employed by teachers to correct students and invite them to self-correct or repair errors as a result of the type of pedagogical classroom interaction context identified. What was the general objective? Was to determine if the CF tactics using classroom interaction contexts used by teachers were adequate to maintain or minimize students' conversation opportunities and therefore contribute to their speaking development. These were the strategies that were identified, coded, and analyzed. These were using Ellie's model, which was recast, repetition, clarification request, explicit correction, elicitation, and paralinguistic sign-off. The type of class interaction contexts that were SIG were structural classes, functional context, procedural, and task-based. And these were the results. Well, different interaction classroom lessons were observed, and we found 3 out of 4. So we found semantic, functional, structural, and procedural. No examples of task-based interactional contexts were identified. By looking at the semantic functional scenario, we noticed that the type of feedback that it was characterized was by the restricted use of both explicit and implicit strategies. According to Alice, some possible reasons were to create a safe and caring class atmosphere without CF strategies so that students could feel confident to speak. Or maybe the objective was to prioritize fluency over accuracy to avoid interruptions and maintain the conversational flow. So we can conclude that the result of little opportunities for students to notice the form and negotiate may impact the development of students' speaking accuracy, along with the possibility to move from a semantic to a syntactic level of language processing. In the structural context, the form of explicit or metalinguistic feedback guided and controlled by the teacher was dominant, yielding to adjacent social interactions with interruptions and little opportunities to maintain the conversational flow. Although this type of explicit feedback was expected due to the nature of the lesson, students had better chance to develop speaking accuracy, but not fluency or the possibility to develop interactional skills because of the greater restrictions on the opportunities to initiate speaking turns and gain control in interaction. In regards to the procedural lessons, little instances of C strategies were identified in the form of elicitations in first place, followed by clarification requests, and then by paralinguistic signals. This suggests that because of the long conversational terms employed by teachers, students have little, almost no opportunities to practice their speaking skills. In all three classroom interaction contexts, the opportunities for democratic, creative, spontaneous, or self-initiated interaction on the part of the student was poor due to the social institutional nature that prevails in the classroom, where the teacher is the one who has the power and the right to direct and assign speaking turn. This says a lot. Why? Because if we don't provide these opportunities, then students will be less likely to develop their oral proficiency. Thus, it becomes relevant to invite current and future teachers to reflect on the importance of generating and modeling activities that allow teaching context for cooperative and social interaction among students. These can be achieved by providing greater opportunities in class to initiate and maintain speaking turns reciprocally between students. Also, it is recommended to vet for alternative pedagogical context as a task-based context, since, according to Gass and Selinker, it is believed that through problem-solving activities, students are in better possibility to make adjustments in their speech through self-correction or repair conversational moves. These were some of the references that were consulted. Thank you very much. I really hope you find this useful and invite you to reflect on the type of interactional context that you implement in your class and how corrective feedback strategies are employed. Thank you very much.